Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And Spark are champions!
Good on, Pepe! Goal! It doesn't get any better than that!
Welcome to our match week 3 coverage of the APSL Delaware River Conference. We're in for a treat this early in the season. We'll have 2 of the top 4 finishers last season squaring off here tonight. Our visitors, Oaklyn United, picking up right where they left off last season with convincing wins in each of their first 2 matches. Alloy got off to a slower start with an away loss, but bounced right back with 5 goals against PSC in their last time out. A win today would at least temporarily tie them at the top of the table. Should be a fun one. Don't go anywhere. Kickoff in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the campus of Lancaster Catholic High School at Maley Field. Just before we get underway, I want to remind everyone today's Game in Frame broadcast is brought to you by Petrobacks, your gateway to Spain and Portugal. From unforgettable vacations to exclusive soccer group trips, Petrobacks gets you closer to the action, the culture, and the biggest teams on the Iberian Peninsula. Visit petrobacks.com and start planning your dream trip today. So early days here in the APSL, just match week 3 that we are kicking off in just a few minutes here. But we have 2 games to look back on for each of these squads. You got Oaklyn United, who, as we said in the opener, have taken each of their first 2 games, scored 6 goals, only allowed 1. They are looking in as good a form as ever. For Alloy, a little bit of a shaky start. Dropped that first game 2-1 to Real Central, but rebounded very, very nicely, beating Philly Soccer Club 5-3. And of course, Philly Soccer Club, very solid APSL team perennially. So maybe it was just some nerves for the new players, maybe for Alloy that first week, but they seem to have gotten it figured out. So that means this match should be very, very interesting. Nice to see some mascots for the Alloy home squad joining them out in the pre-match ceremony, and see them hustling off with that youthful exuberance that evades me, at least. Except for one very little one who's she's taking a little bit longer to get off the field. Now she's off, okay. And just a meeting of the captains here, coin toss underway. Alloy is going to be in white, going from left to right. Oaklyn in black, going from right to left. You may hear me refer to them as the Nor'easters. It's their club name. So Oaklyn and Alloy both made the APSL playoffs last year. If you're unfamiliar with the APSL format, there is a regular season champion. In fact, Alloy was crowned regular season champion 2 seasons ago. But at that point, you are then entered into the APSL Delaware River Conference tournament, which is the top 4 teams all gunning for that top spot. Whoever wins that little semifinal and then final matchup will go on to play in the APSL National Playoffs, which for the first time ever last season, a Delaware River Conference team won it. Westchester Predators ended up taking the APSL National title, deservedly so. Convincing wins really all APSL season, and then another 2 convincing wins in the national playoffs. So congratulations to the Predators, but it's a new season, and Oaklyn is hanging right with them at the top of this table. Of course, Oaklyn in the top 4 each of the last 3 seasons, so they're no stranger to the APSL postseason, nor is Alloy. Only been in the APSL 2 years before this season, but made the playoffs in each of those 2 appearances. So you're going to see some of the best the APSL has to offer here today. And it looks like we are just about ready to get underway from beautiful Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Referee, last check of the watch, and we are underway. Of course, we don't talk much about the travel in the APSL, but this is one of those games where it's worth noting because Oaklyn had to come a long way to get here today, as does Alloy whenever they go to New Jersey. That might have been a factor in that Real Central defeat. That is a long trip, ladies and gentlemen, from their home ground here in Lancaster all the way to Real Central's territory, and Oaklyn for that matter. Oaklyn having to make that return trip today. We'll see how they fare. Of course, you always wonder about the squad availability on those long trips, and mainstay for the Nor'easters, Nico Tramontana, not here today. There's always a chance that might be injury or something else, but not in the squad today as Alloy are on the move forward. Some nice combination play in the tight space in the midfield, but turned over, and Oaklyn will pick their head up. There's Austin Johnson, the skipper of this Oaklyn team. That pass was a little too long. It'll trickle all the way back to Caden Mullen, who is manning the net tonight for Alloy. Isaac Hollinger on the ball now. He's got 2 goals already on this young season. And Alloy looking like they're moving the ball pretty well as Hollinger skips by a couple of Oaklyn challenges. Does eventually head backwards to Yoder. Back inside, but Oaklyn win that one back. Joseph Wynn starting this attack. Johnson plays forward to Mancuso, who was just beaten out by Yoder. That was good play. As Yoder's actually, I just realized, Yoder's actually the right winger. He had to come a long way back to take care of his defensive duties. Ball over the top. Alloy man does get there first. Beats his man. Did it stay in? It did not. Looks like that ball did trickle out, according to the linesman. While we have a sec, want to let you know what's coming up here on Game in Frame. We have a lot of action as always. New York International FC taking on Doxa at 4 p.m. tomorrow in the APSL Metropolitan Conference. Pancyprian taking on Central Park Rangers at 8 o'clock, also in the APSL Met. And then right here in Philadelphia, next weekend, we'll have Real Central taking on PSC at 7 o'clock. So you won't want to miss any of those here on Game in Frame, your home for grassroots soccer here in the Northeast. As it looks like Oaklyn have won the ball in an advanced position. Wynn beaten out to that one. And Wynn applying some pressure. As a strong challenge comes in, referee does say that was a free kick. Austin Johnson throwing his weight around. A little too much for the referee's liking, though. So we will have a free kick. It looks like Oakland's happy to let Alloy kind of have the ball in their own third, and then that's when they're trying to cut it out once that cutting through ball comes in. And Alloy, their head up, roaming forward with Yoder. He clips one in behind. What a ball that is. It drops to an Alloy player in the box, has a hit. And I think that was deflected. It was. We'll have our first corner of the match. What a ball that was by Yoder to just float that one in behind the Oakland back line, just past the outstretched leg of one of those center backs. And it very nearly fell for one of those white shirts. Seth Crabb was the player in the middle. Looking to get on the end of that one. I believe he's the Shippensburg product, if I'm not mistaken. Whipped in towards that back post. Well punched by the goalkeeper, Perella, who's in that not so popular goalkeeping number of 15. Ball zipped in. Oaklyn kind of scrambling, but now they found Mancuso and will look to build out. Here's Johnson. Swings it wide to Stephen Thompson. A couple of little step overs, and now he's gotten the beat on his defender, and that one's fired off a center back for Oakland's first corner of the match. That was Micah Hostetter who turned that one behind. Win the man to take the set piece for the Nor'easters. Interesting look here from Oakland. They have everybody stacked up at the top of the 18. So look out for a bum rush into that 6. Here it comes. Ball fizzed in low. It was flicked on by Mancuso, but Alloy got there to that second ball. That one's a really tasty looking ball clipped in. Alloy again doing yeoman's work in the box to clear it, as Dania wasn't happy with the physicality, and his protest to the referee actually worked. You very rarely see that, but Dania got his wish there. He's got a goal already this season. Must be said, both of these teams have 6 goals through 2 games, which is nothing to sneeze at. 3 goals a game will usually get you home, but not if you give up 3 goals as well. The difference, Oakland have only allowed 1, Alloy allowed 5 so far. So it must be said, a lot of the players we've seen lead that back line in their first 2 seasons are not on the roster. I don't know if that's a temporary thing or not, but we'll get back to that, because Dania's sprinting in towards the 6. He goes down and he fizzed it across the box. It's still with Alloy, and now finally cleared. Dania looking dangerous early on in this one. Alloy, in general, looking very much on the front foot. This ball's ping-ponging around Oakland's defensive third, and Johnson temporarily lost out, but in typical Johnson fashion, got it right back. And that's Dago doing the 1-2 combinations in the middle. That one's fired off of an Alloy player out into touch. Here's Thompson. A little too physical from the Nor'easters, as Johnson will head back in to mark up. Chris Richards to take this set piece. He's got a goal already. I think he might be a little too far out for a shot now. So this ball's whipped in towards the top of the 18, headed away. Only as far as an Alloy player. Fizzed back in. That was a good-looking ball, but a little too much heat on it towards that back post. Perella looked a little concerned as that one was fizzing in. And that goal kicks away. Alloy wins the header, but can only put it out for a throw. Thompson into Mancuso, back out to Thompson, into Wynn, who tried to Neat little flick, but couldn't find the target. And Oaklyn fire it back towards their goalkeeper. Thompson making a run in behind. Can he get there first using that pace? He cannot. Richards cuts it out well, but the return ball isn't up to snuff. Fired in. And this one is very nearly problematic for Hostetter and that Alloy back line, but they get the ball under control now. And up comes Yoder. I'm not sure if that was intended for Crab or for Richards, but either way, fizzed under both of them and went to Perella, who played it out. And Crab with a little 1-2 combination top of the box. Lovely little play. Crab dances past, goes down. Referee says nothing doing. Little half turn for Dania. Top of the box, has a rip off the crossbar. What a strike that was. Inches away from a lead in this game. Leo Dania looks like he's on one here tonight. Here's Yoder dancing around onto his left foot. Hits Crab off his head and just wide of Perella's post. My goodness, Alloy just firing away in these last 2 or 3 minutes. Great play from the home team. Just missing a pair of chances onto Perella's crossbar and then right past it. And interesting, a little switch happening already. Not a substitute, but Oakland's just orchestrated a little swap. Steven Thompson has switched sides. And Seth Seidel is taking up post at left back as Mancuso drifted offside there. So interesting tactical look here from the Nor'easters. It looks like that strong side fullback is really attacking that forward space. And the weak side sits in as Crab gets by one man, picks his head up, dances to the left, on to Hollinger. Oh, that one's come off. I think that came off the American football crossbar. More great play from Alloy going forward. It was Matteo Adaletta who came from a deeper position to link up with Crab. And looks like I want to have another go at it. Down the line for Dania. What a ball that was. Cuts inside. Off to Crab. A little deflection, and oh, that drifted just wide. And I think the referees called that a goal kick. I don't know about that one. Referee says goal kick. And a couple of Alloy players not thrilled. Guess he's saying it came off of Hollinger, who was down fighting for position with those center backs. So very possibly could have. No matter, we play on. Goal kick inbound. Dania goes backwards this time and then spins off. He's been causing a lot of problems. I wonder if that was what drove the change from Oaklyn. Looks like Steven Thompson's a pacey player, maybe just trying to cover Denia with some pace, as a foul is called on Oaklyn in the midfield. Fizz wide. Whipped in. Didn't beat the first defender. Mancuso's on it, turns it over. Top of the box. That one was deflected, took all the sting out of it. Would have been interesting to see how much pace Christian Wien could have generated. It's interesting, too. It looks like, not sure if it's a back five or just a really deep holding line. We'll get back to that because Crab won that back in a dangerous spot. Picks his head up, has a hit. What a save by Perella. Falls back to Crab inside the box. And one back. It looks like Crab got the ball, but he definitely got a piece of the Nor'easters man too. Oaklyn don't care yet because they're working the ball forward. And Perella's not happy with the challenge on his center back. And looks like Crab is having a word with him. And it's one of those challenges that can go really either way, because Crab does win the ball first, but then he very clearly, his momentum takes him through that ball into the defender. So he did catch him. I'm inclined to agree with the referee on that one because it's just, Crab can't just stop his momentum. It's not feasible. So we will play on. Seidel will go backwards. Vincent Guzzo goes back to his goalkeeper, and they'll go out the other way. Ball pinged forward. Too much on it, though. Mullen will easily pick that one up. Nice play in the midfield, but turned over. So here comes Oaklyn. And again, that looks like that last ball just evading the Nor'easters so far in this one. About to enter the 20th minute of this match. Into Crab, out to Denia, and he's onside. He's got a lot of room out here. Infield, and what a team goal from Alloy. Mateo Adaleta, his second goal of the season. Crab to Denia to Adaleta. What a team goal. It's interesting, Oaklyn swapped that outside back situation. Seidel and Thompson switched. I think it was to use Thompson's pace, but it didn't matter. Denia found a ton of room over there. And very unselfishly, I might add, played that one across to Adaleta, who easily tucked that one home. It's 1-0. And Alloy look lively again. This ball is played forward to Richards. Same channel. And a nice little move from Richards. But a good recovery from Oaklyn to see out the danger That was Saidi who won that challenge. If he didn't win that, could have been very dangerous running towards that near post. Corner comes in, headed clear from Oaklyn, only as far as the Alloy center back. Right back down that left side they go. Whipped in towards Crab. What a finish! I'm not sure if Crab got a piece of it or not. It looks like he did. What a diving header from Seth Crab. And what a ball played into him as well. Alloy firing on all cylinders midway through this first half. So it is now 2-0. And we've just had a look back at that first goal for Alloy. And there's a very real possibility that might have been offside, as it looked like that last defender was about a yard behind the Alloy attacker. Very interesting, but can't fault Alloy for that second goal. That was beautiful, as Dania will let that one go. Ooh, almost went into the Oaklyn bench. Hey, Crab kind of put that one straight up into the air and lost out. And there goes Thompson, wriggling through and somehow still has the ball. How did he keep it there? Good work from Thompson. Cut back for the Nor'easters. Alloy see it off. Spoke too soon. Back on the ball is the Nor'easters. Mancuso was not starting that run. Looked a little frustrated that it came so early. Max Hawk, who does have a goal this season already, was the man playing the ball. Richards playing a little 1-2. What a through ball that is. Did it get through to Richards? It did. What a save from Perella. He was kind of the only man that was going to make that play once that ball slipped in for Richards. Alloy with these little interconnecting passes looks so dangerous early on. It's hard to fault Oaklyn for not cutting them out because they're just it's in such a tight area. Here's another one. Richards goes in behind. This one is ruled offsides. That was Yoder, who looked like he was in behind. Not to be. Here's Seidel forward. Zipped into Adaleta, goes backwards. Now you can see this Oaklyn press is looking a little more lively. Is he onside? It looks like he is. Yoder's in behind. Seidel trying to recover. What a finish from Yoder. Alloy looking like they want to put a crooked number up in this match. It's 3-0. Alloy getting players right on that back line and looking like they're timing their runs up to perfection. And it looks like Perella's talking to the coaching staff. Maybe he's just trying to sort something out tactically, because I'll say it in a more family-friendly way than Perella did, but they're getting torn up at the back. Doesn't help when they're turning the ball over in midfield like this, though. Crab lays it off to Dania, picks his head up. Into the box he goes. Perella with a strong challenge, and the referee has called a penalty. My, oh my, oh my. I don't know about that one, ladies and gentlemen. Perella's cleared that ball. It's the same argument that I was making before. What else is Perella supposed to do there? He's won the ball. You can't ask the keeper to not go for it. Yeah, looks like maybe the referee's having a chat with his linesman, but his linesman's already taken up post on the goal line. Oaklyn have a legitimate gripe here. That's harsh. That's very, very harsh from our perspective, albeit quite far away up in the booth. But Perella, from the goalkeeping perspective, had to win that ball. He's done that, and for his troubles, gotten cleaned out on the after the fact, and somehow he's been told he's given up a penalty, which is definitely adding insult to the injury. Seems like a good as time as any to discuss the goalkeeping situation for Oaklyn. Lucien Maslin is the reserve team goalkeeper, and he was actually in the squad tonight as a starting center back. And I can't help but notice that Maslin is limping toward the sideline. So starting goalkeeper, not looking great. Reserve goalkeeper, not looking great. And I was just watching this play back, and it's just so hard to fault Perella. He's won that ball and obviously caught the man afterward, but what a harsh decision. And well, the referee's actually going to have a word with the linesman, and maybe the linesman will talk some sense into him. This feels so harsh. And not that the game should be officiated with the scoreline in mind, but to give this as a penalty with the score as it sits right now just seems really, really harsh. Of course, the clock is still ticking as they're treating Perella here. And we do have stoppage time here in the APSL. Not always told how much, but you got to think it'll be at least a fair bit added on to this first half given what's transpired. If there is good news for Oaklyn, it's the fact that Perella is on his feet and looking like he's able to continue. Less good news in the sense that Lucien Maslin, who is the backup, does not look great. He might have been caught in that challenge as well. And the referee's going to have a chat with the Oaklyn player. That might have just been telling them to get back on the pitch because Perella is back on his feet and ready to play. And now the Alloy player is having where you just wonder if maybe this decision's been overturned, because I can't imagine why he'd be having a chat with the Alloy skipper, which is Micah Hostetter. Still having a chat with him. Looked very cordial. And I think I just heard a drop ball. So this is fair play. I was just very critical of the official, and I think he's seen what I've seen. Maybe it was then after talking to that linesman, so the credit might be due to the linesman, but I really, watching it back, really don't think that was a foul, and the penalty was waved off. So, fair play to the officials. Fair play to Perella for making a really nice challenge on that ball, and bravely so. You saw he paid the price for it, but he's a tough cookie. He's continuing here. Problem is Dania is storming down that left-hand side again. Backwards to Crab. Infield to Adeletta, who temporarily lost out. It's right behind him. Seidel's fighting for it. An attempted move to get around by Hollinger didn't quite pan out. Perella was able to fall on it. Perella has a peek. Fires away. Saidi won that one. Excuse me, that was Max Hawk that won that back for Oaklyn. Maslin forward to Dago. And they'll actually go all the way back. Go backwards. This is a little better from Oaklyn, able to keep the ball. First spell we've really seen that. Mancuso heads on to Johnson, picks his head up, fires to this left-hand side. Wynn fires across, but Mullen was in a great spot. Rolled right to him. Hostetter to Hollinger. Crab. Crab gets back on the ball, flips it back for Hollinger. And Richards is flying down this right-hand side. He goes one touch, a little 1-2 actually, gets it right back. I think that pass took him a little further wide than he wanted to. Seidel does well, plays forward to Win. Mancuso. Dago lost out to Alloy, and here they come the other way. Yoder into space. I think that one was a little too straight. It was. Right idea, not quite the execution. I think he was actually looking for Crab coming forward. And like Joe Wynn made a very long run and was not rewarded for it. He's still running around up there. Fair play to win for the work ethic. Dania forward. I think it was intended for Crab, but it went longer than him. Clipped forward for Richards. That was a nice ball. Adaleta plays across. Dania tried to switch the play, couldn't do so. And there's a foul called on Alloy. It was on Hollinger, I believe. Guzzo, Seidel. Back to Guzzo, across to Maslin. Again, not every day that you see a reserve team goalkeeper starting at center back. That's very, very nice luxury to have at this level for Oaklyn. Over the top, looking for Yoder. What a ball that is. In behind is Yoder. Guzzo, I don't know if that was Guzzo or Yoder that had that poked away, but Perella saved it, whoever it was. Wynn and Johnson combined to get it to Mancuso. Using his strength to try to hold off that Alloy man. Lost out to the second one, though. Another really nice ball played to Yoder. Down this right-hand side, cuts inside, beats Guzzo. I think he actually hit Hollinger there, unfortunately. I don't think he was looking for him. I think he was looking past him for maybe Richards, who had made a darting run forward. And that seems to be what's been causing Oaklyn so many problems, is those deep line runs that Alloy's been making. So I just want to clarify, we are approaching the 40th minute, but there may or may not be a fair whack of stoppage time added on to this first half, as they were looking after Perella, who went down earlier. Hawks on the end of this, and again, it's just the final third passing is just not there so far for the Nor'easters. Yoder to Adaleta. That went backwards to Justin Kiefer, who started this move forward to Dania. Hollinger loses out to Thompson. Kiefer on it again. What a hit from Crab. That one was fought off by Perella. That one was way down, way back. It was about 30 yards away when he had that hit. And I wasn't even quite prepared to talk about it. But Perella did well to fight it off. Down this right-hand channel. Alloy look happy to Play it back and go out the other side. Infielder Richards picks his head up, finds Crab, lays it off to Yoder. And it looked like Guzzo got that last crucial touch to take it away from Yoder. Guzzo to Lucien. Over the top, looking for Thompson. Is that pace going to win out? Just couldn't get there ahead of Mullen, who was well off his line. Good starting position from the Alloy netminder. Yoder. Beats one. Cuts inside, picks his head up. Looks for Denis. It was deflected by Maslin. Johnson goes wide to Saidi. Denis is on it. And I think Crab actually stole that one from Denis, who I think was the intended target, if I'm not mistaken. And referees decided to stop play to check out the Oaklyn player who's down. Is Imeri Dago. And usually when you see another player stretching him out, it's just a cramp, which hopefully that is all it is. Not particularly warm out this evening, but Diego's been doing a lot of running around in the middle of the park today, so might be more of a muscle fatigue issue rather than a dehydration issue. Looks like we are about ready to get back underway. And Yoder kept that one in. Denia fires to Crab. Couldn't keep it as the lights turned on very suddenly there. Usually there's more of a warm-up, but that was like flipping the switch in your living room. As we're in the last 30 seconds of the 45, but again, probably a fair bit of stoppage time to play in this one as Mancuso finds Johnson, and Mancuso looks like he's gonna get this ball back, and he's trying to fire across to Hawk, who is fighting with Denia, who's come a long way to get back and help out defensively, and he just missed the clearance. Infield to Mancuso, headed clear, but only as far as Wynn. Wynn goes wide, back to Saidi. To Dago. And Dago's, I think, tried to slice that one out to Thompson, but caught too much of the ball, and it's gone over the end line. That was a heavy challenge from Oaklyn against Crab, and they've won the throw. And looks like we're actually getting a substitute for the Nor'easters. Interesting. A school of thought that would have said leave this until halftime, but coaching staff clearly deciding that it couldn't wait. Oh, and that's why. It's actually Dago that's coming out. So that's probably injury/fitness related more so than a tactical switch. But what a guy to come off the bench. Jade Macias is checking into this game. He is one of the players that has been a mainstay in that Nor'easters midfield through all of those APSL postseason appearances. He's a really high-level player at this level. So, not a bad option to bring off the bench if you're the Nor'easters coaching staff, as Thompson gets on this ball. And Thompson, Mancuso making the run. He's got it. Across, looking for win. It's deflected and really well cleared by Alloy. Still danger, though. Saidi fizzes across. Thompson. That ball was played in. Alloy deflected that. We're going to have a corner. Again, we're 2.5 minutes in to stoppage time, but we had a lot of dead air on that in this first half. So, almost certainly enough time to at least take this corner, if not much more. Corner comes in. It's flicked on. Oh, and just inches away from finding Lucian Maslin at that back post. I'm not sure who got that first flick on, but that was very nearly worked to perfection from Oaklyn. A goal before halftime would really make the team talk a lot more pleasant. And that's not a very good challenge from Guzzo. And quite rightly, the referee will show him yellow. Crab, the man on the not so nice end of that challenge. It was a nice touch from Dania, but that was the last touch of this first half. Alloy flexing their attacking muscles here at home. Your score at halftime, Alloy 3, Oaklyn 0. Don't go anywhere. Second half in just a few minutes.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish. Flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward.
The salt air case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
Welcome back to the campus of Lancaster Catholic High School. Before we get underway, I want to remind you today's Game in Frame broadcast is brought to you by Petrobacks, your gateway to Spain and Portugal. From unforgettable vacations to exclusive soccer group trips, Petrobacks gets you closer to the action, the culture, and the biggest teams on the Iberian Peninsula. Visit Petrobacks.com and start planning your dream trip today. 3-0 if you missed our first half of action at Bailey Field. Goals from Yoder, Crab, and Ataleta as this second half kicks off. Looks like at least one substitute's been made for Alloy. I'll get you that information as soon as I can confirm it. Daniel Rowe is the man on for Alloy. Posted up in the center of the park. As looking dangerous down that right-hand side, Alloy can't quite keep it in. Ball's fired straight up into the air. That ball was intended for Crab, but it was a bit of a miscue. It'll trickle all the way back to Oaklyn. And now, you know what? I just noticed that Maslin is in goal for Oaklyn. So I wonder if that knock Perella took was worse than we thought. He is on the bench, I am seeing now. So that whistle wasn't. There's another whistle in the ground that's not the referee, if you guys can hear that on the stream. Crab picks his head up, and Crab missed a wide open man down the right, but it doesn't matter. In behind comes Alloy, strike, goal. Second half starting much how the first half went, with an Alloy score, make it 4-0. Here I am saying Crab missed a pass. It was actually the cutting through ball needed to notch another goal for Alloy. That was Luke Knoll who notched the goal for the home team. Seth Crab now with a goal and 2 assists on the evening, and we've got a lot of game left to play. Ball fizzed down this left-hand side for Oaklyn, but Hostetter cuts it out. Rowe does well to shimmy out of trouble. Come out wide to Gausios. Rowe again looks really good since coming on. He played a lot for Alloy last year, so that might have been a fitness reason for him being on the bench, maybe a tactical one, but excuse me, very consistent player for Alloy. In Dan Rowe to have come off the bench, which is always nice. This is Artelace coming down the left-hand side. A couple of step overs. He's a substitute as well. Lots of subs from Alloy at halftime. Mancuso picks his head up. He's got room down the left. That's Wynn. Thompson's streaking down this right-hand side in a ton of space, but I don't think his team was able to find him. Cius. Back to Guzzo, who, reminder, is on a yellow. Thompson. Back to Hawk. Johnson runs into an Alloy player. Referee says it was a foul. And that was a strong challenge from the Oaklyn man. Ruled a free kick. That ball fizzed in behind for Alloy. Whipped across, and it looked like the keeper got a touch to it, but it doesn't matter. Luke Nall is there to turn home his second of this half. Firing on all cylinders are Alloy, make it 5-0. And you can see the benefits of having fresh legs paying dividends early in this second half. 2 goals already. Less than 7 minutes into this half. Looked like Guzzo wanted to go long, but couldn't really find a suitable outlet. Hawk can, though. He found Saidi, and they'll go out wide to Seidel, who will funnel back inside. Saidi, Macias out the other way. Guzzo. Thompson looking to run in behind. They'll actually go to Hawk running in behind. Uses his body to shield the Alloy defender away. Seidel gets the ball down, but it's picked off as he was entering the penalty area. Up top to Crab, who holds the ball up, waits for reinforcements, and decides to cut back and run at his defender. Whips it in, what a pass, and it did get to the Alloy man. He's popped it straight up in the air. Alloy still dangerous. Nall already looking for a hat trick. Referee says nothing doing. What a hit, what a save from the backup goalkeeper, Maslin. Acrobatic, diving to his right to keep out a strong hit. That looked destined to make it 6. Thompson, forward to Hawk. Looking for Wynn. They just can't connect that last pass. It's been the story of the night for Oaklyn. They've looked really good in transition. They just can't find the final ball. And Nall did manage to get a touch on that one. That's been the difference, right? Alloy, that last ball looks so, so dangerous every time they play it. Macias over the top looking for Hawk. Good goalkeeping by Mullen to come out, play it with his feet. Pass wasn't quite so convincing. Macias will get it back in. Look to come out the other side. And there's Ardelais. The lovely little dink over the top. Puts his foot on it to find Adaleta. Out the right-hand side. Infield looking for Crab. Put in behind by a Nor'easters player. And it'll be an Alloy corner. They go short. Fizzed across. Headed clear for now. Nall's on the end of it. Fighting through a Nor'easters challenge who looked like it was Hawk who got the better of him. Macias out the other side. And nowhere to go. He's found Thompson. Guzzo. If my eyes don't deceive me, I think that's Noah Blodgett who's playing pregame. I'll get back to that because Hawk's in behind here. He gets around Mullen. Mullen's recovered, but, oh, it's that kind of night for the Nor'easters. Hawk got in, oh, excuse me. Okay, so it was a deflection. Hawk looked like he had the entire goal to shoot at, and he did, but must have been some last-ditch defending from Alloy. And another Oaklyn player looking like they're cramping up. Thompson this time. Macias the man to take the corner now that Thompson's back on his feet. In it comes. Really nice-looking ball. But Alloy got the header first. A hit from Seidel, and I think that needed saving from Mullen. Good save down to his near post. Good hit from Seidel. I didn't think that shot would have the pace on it to trouble Mullen, but it sure did. Another corner for Oaklyn. This is a bit better from the Nor'easters, who've had a tough night so far. Ball comes in short. Mancuso has white shirts all over him. He's wriggled free. Had a hit. It's blocked. Adaleta fires it into the night sky. And looked like Saidi was a little too eager to win that header. Referees pulled it back. Adaleta goes backwards to Hostetter. Adaleta clipped wide. Down the right-hand side come Alloy. Another player in space. It's fallen to him. That's Gaucios. Nall, top of the box. Still, it looks like Gaucios had it for a second, but it's come back out to Rowe. Ardelais goes backwards to Kiefer. And they'll go around the horn. Crab with his foot on the ball. Infield to Rowe. who tried to find Nall, but weren't quite on the same page. Seidel cuts back. Fizzed in. Couldn't find Wynn. Gaucios. Rowe. There's Rowe again. Nall dances away. Into Crab's feet. Top of the box. Has a hit. And again, just over the bar. Hit the American football upright. And it looks like we'll have a substitute. Gaucios will exit this game. Alloy player checks in. Get you his name as soon as we have it confirmed. And a ball over the top looking for Saidi. Couldn't quite find him. William Vasquez, the man on for Alloy. As Rowe picks this one in a dangerous spot. Crab's ahead of him. Yoder's to his right. He finds Yoder. And nice tackle from Blodgett. And looks like Blodgett actually won not only the challenge, but a goal kick along with it. While we have a second, I want to tell you what's coming up on Game in Frame. Tomorrow we have New York International taking on Doxa at 4 o'clock in the APSL Metropolitan Conference. Also in the APSL Met, Pancyprian Freedoms take on Central Park Rangers at 8 p.m. That's tomorrow as well. Then next weekend, don't miss Real Central taking on Philadelphia Soccer Club here in the APSL Delaware River Conference at 7 p.m. As always, lots going on here on Game in Frame, your home for grassroots soccer here in the Northeast. Yeah, looks like Alloy are in another dangerous position. Infield looking for Crab. Crab goes down. I don't think it was contact. I think he left the ball behind. And Johnson racing to get on that ball. Ball fizzed in Arteles. And it was taken off of him by Rowe and clipped across. Excuse me, that wasn't Rowe. That was actually Micah Hostetter who was way up there. A pioneering run by by the skipper and center back of this team. And another substitute to tell you about. So Seth Crabb is going to make his way out of this match. And he's had a game to write home about. 1 goal, at least 2 assists on the night. Vasquez will throw it in to Arteles. Back to Rowe. Kiefer. Alloy moving the ball around. They go backwards. Austin Johnson has a little room to work. He goes infield to Mancuso. Hawks all the way on this right-hand side. It's cut out. And here comes Alloy. Ball fizzed in, and that was just far too much pace on that ball. I think that was Nall who was trying to find his forward. I believe Kel Merkel's checked into this game for Alloy. Austin Johnson over the top. He's beaten to it by Vasquez, who did really well to come across. Ball's clipped forward. And looks like Adaleta's moved upfield to take the place of Seth Crabb, who was filling that number 9 role. And it looks like Alloy's coming the other way again. In behind the defense. And the goalkeeper's gone down. He's done enough. That's actually, he didn't get a hand on it, but that's great goalkeeping from Maslin, who was able to chop down that angle and force the Alloy player wide and took off basically any realistic chance he had to score. I think that might have been Nall on his hat trick, so that great piece of goalkeeping probably won't make Nall very happy. Macias and Johnson trying to play a 1-2. Didn't quite pan out, but Johnson looks like he'll get it back. He does. And fought off a challenge. Rose got it. And playing in very tight spaces. That's a great touch from Merkel to keep it close. He'll spin the play, go down that right-hand side. And another good piece of goalkeeping by Maslin. Almost halfway through this second half, 3/4 of the way through the 90. As Alloy making another dangerous run, and that was not a very nice challenge from the Nor'easter. And that, I believe, was Blodgett, who was booked for that one. I was saying, Blodgett told me he was not necessarily intending to play this game, but as he's serving on the coaching staff for Oaklyn as well, but clearly needed at the back. In fairness, did stop that attack, but at the cost of entering the referee's book. The second player from Oaklyn to do so. And it looks like it's going to be an Oaklyn substitute. I believe that's Joe Wynn, who's exiting with not looking particularly mobile. Hopefully he didn't pick up an injury that I didn't catch early in this one, but he does exit. Can't quite make out who that substitute on the far side is. I'll get you that information as soon as I can confirm it. In the meantime, Merkel's taking this free kick for Alloy. It does fall to them, but some opportunistic goalkeeping, I'll say, from Maslin, as the Alloy player actually got to touch what looked like around the 6-yard box. So Maslin able to jump on the loose ball. Seidel trying to play out the other way. Ethan Spinato, the man on for Oaklyn United. He took the place of Joe Wynn. Vasquez is looking in behind. Now it goes in behind a row. He fires and just wide. Again, it's that darting run from deeper in that Alloy midfield that's been causing so many issues. for the Oaklyn defense. Maslin fizzes that one forward. Rowe. Merkel was trying to find the right back Richards, but wasn't quite on, and now Richards' vacancy is being felt at the back. Holloway did well enough to give him time to recover. And here's Nall, picks up a loose ball, top of the box, weaves wide, and then another great save by Maslin. 2 goals in quick succession to start this half and has been rock solid ever since. Again, started this game at center back. That is a Swiss Army knife if there ever was one in the APSL. Delaware continuing on here. Blodgett looked like he won that challenge and did win the goal kick. A little less than 20 minutes remaining of the 90. Blodgett doing his managerial duties by tying the shoe of Lucien Maslin. Max Hawk is exiting this game for the Nor'easters. I'll get you his substitute as soon as I can confirm it. If you're just joining us, you've missed a goal fest by our hosts. 5-0 your score with under 20 to play. Seth Crabb with a goal and 2 assists. Luke Nall adding 2 tallies of his own, both in the second half. He came on as a substitute at halftime. Thompson couldn't quite get there. Artelace under a lot of heat, but finds Vasquez, who's under considerably more space. The Oaklyn press looking a bit more direct, we'll say. Blodgett cuts that out. Yeah, that's a strong tackle. He won the ball, though, and I'm not sure. I think the Alloy player, yeah, that one was called on the Alloy player. Coaching staff's not happy, but I think that's the right call because he went to win the ball and didn't really get near it. Look like and a nice embrace from Hostetter, the captain, who I think was just looking for an explanation from the official. Blodgett looked like he was going to go forward, but it likes to go short to Guzzo. Over the top, and Mullen ended up staying, and I'm not sure it was the right call. Worked out in the end. That was Spinato, who I think it fell to. Couldn't get enough pace on the header. Merkel and Rowe combining in the Alloy midfield. Head up for the Alloy front line, but that one trickles through to Maslin. Looks like Oaklyn are playing a front four, which is, I guess, desperate times and desperate measures and all that. Very nearly worked out for Stephen Thompson, but the ball drifted over that end line. About 15 minutes remaining. Adaletta lost out. Johnson, top of the box, touches down, still chasing after it. Mancuso giving him problems. Look at Rowe. Rowe is surrounded in there, but still able to find a ball out of trouble. Gets it back, picks his head up, finds Knoll, zips it out wide to Yoder. A little step over, takes him infield, and that's not a very good tackle. And there's a yellow card. For Matt Pastore, who checked in at some point for Oaklyn. I didn't catch when that happened, but now he goes into the book. That is not great for Oaklyn. 3 defenders in the book. And the referee's having a word with Austin Johnson. I don't know what that would be about. I'm really not sure. I really don't know what that was about. That was weird. Referee had a word with Johnson and didn't look like Johnson went and spoke to any of his players directly. Not sure. More pressing. Merkel and looks like actually the hit does come, and it was a good save by Maslin. I was just about to say I don't think they're going to shoot from there, and boy was I wrong. Here it is, a hit and another good save from Maslin. He's been, as I said, 2 goals in quick succession from Alloy. But since then, really, really good back there. And this could have been a really crooked number if not for the work of Perella in the first half and then Maslin in this second half. Here comes Rowe darting forward. Adaletta's got it. Knoll to his right. He's going to have it himself on his weaker foot. It's off the post. Adaletta looking for his second tally of the night, and now offside. The call on the rebound. Adaletta, and honestly, this whole Alloy front line just looking so dangerous. Alloy finished second in last year's table behind Westchester. And keep in mind, Westchester won the whole thing last year. Not just the APSL Delaware River Conference, so nothing to be ashamed of missing out to them. Alloy looked dominant again to start this season. Did tally a loss in that first game somehow. And Oaklyn will win a free kick. I wonder if the travel from Alloy had something to do with it. Real Central's quite a haul for these guys. And you just wonder if they had a full-strength squad at that game. Not to take anything away from Real Central, who have a solid squad themselves. And look at that, a hit from distance. That was a wily move from the veteran Macias, who thought he might have caught Mullen napping. And that was a good 40 yards out, must be said. But you can't win the raffle if you don't buy a ticket. And speaking of tickets, Alloy looking forward, speeding forward, I would say. Here's Ardelais. Tried to find his forward, couldn't do so. That ball was fizzed in, good touch. As Serge Biquette is onto the Alloy back line. Just checked in a moment ago. Ball's fizzed forward, looking for Spinato, and Spinato was in the area and went down. The referee didn't seem too concerned, so we'll have a goal kick. Less than 10 minutes remaining of the 90. Here's Rowe. I think he was trying to find Biquette, but elected to go back to Kiefer instead. Biquette goes infield to Merkel, who did really well in a tight space to relieve the pressure. Hostetter clips forward. And Seidel touched that last. Goal kick, or excuse me, throw in for Alloy. Biquette looking like he's ready to throw this in. Biquette gets it back. Looking like he wants to cross, does so. Too close to Maslin. Alloy going around the back. Hostetter making another cutting pass. This one to Nall, who dances by one, picks his head up. He's on a hat trick. He wants it. Has the shot, and there it is. Luke Nall registers a second half hat trick, and that puts Alloy up 6-0. Nall just never looked like he was willing to pass that ball, sitting on a brace. He fires home his third goal of this second half. And if there was any doubt before, you can just about seal this one for the hosts, Alloy. Again, technically started this game in 6th place in the table. This will tie them at the top with Oaklyn. Westchester as well tied in that top spot. And very good possibility that Westchester wins their game to take top spot all by themselves, but still, 6th to 2nd ain't bad. And Alloy look like they're in position to do just that. And again, goal difference, a huge, huge factor in the APSL because it can get very tight, particularly around those 3rd and 4th place spots. So that would be why the gas pedal will not be let off anytime soon. Here's Adaleta, and it looked like a tame effort. Maslin did well to hold it with a lot of white shirts in the area. A little over 5 minutes remaining of the 90. Can't imagine too much in the way of stoppage time. Maslin punts forward, but Rowe with a beautiful touch just deadens that right out of the air. He plays to Biquette. Biquette just darts down this left-hand side right past Arteles, who looked happy enough to let him wander by. And we'll have another Oaklyn United substitute. Johnson, I believe, exiting this match. Let's see who comes on. If I'm not mistaken, ladies and gentlemen, that might be the manager of Oaklyn, Alex Lewis. I did not get a squad number for him, but I'm almost positive that Alex Lewis has checked into this game. We are much more used to seeing him in a polo on the sideline rather than on the pitch. So let's see how he does out on the field. And Maslin comes home to punch that one clear. Rose at the top of the box. He's dancing, goes wide, gets it back. Goes backwards to Merkel. Goes back down the channel to Vasquez. Infield to Rowe, who does a nice little dip of the shoulder, top of the box. Scoots by another defender, has a hit. Nice save by Maslin. Rebound. Tucked home, but offside. Maslin, in about 40 minutes, I think has more saves than some APSL goalkeepers have all season so far. And that was a heavy collision. And looked like Rowe might have gotten the worst of that and is going to be carded for his trouble. And he's not thrilled about that. That was a big clattering between him and Ahmed Saidi. The referee just jots that information into his book. Ball clipped in. A consolation goal for the Nor'easters would make that drive home a bit nicer. As that ball's pinged wide, or excuse me, pinged forward, looking for Adaleta. Didn't find him and only found Blodgett. So between Blodgett and Lewis, there's two Nor'easter managers running around on the pitch. And Guzzo makes a darting run forward, and the ball looked dangerous. I think it was looking for, excuse me, Thompson. Mancuso couldn't get on the end of that one. A little over a minute remaining of the 90. We'll keep an eye on the referee as to what he says about stoppage time. Long ball over the top. Route 1 stuff for Alloy. As Lewis, the coach, hustling to win that ball back. Guzzo. Dying embers of this game. Again, a goal would go a long way towards lifting the spirits of this Oaklyn team who've had their hands full all night. Ball clipped ahead. Kiefer with a nice touch to bring it down. And I hear the beeping of the watch from the referee signaling the 90 minutes is up. As Alloy try to make a last move count, and they do. Clinical stuff from Alloy all night. Make it 7 for our hosts. As I believe that will be the last real action of this game. I think that was Arteles who tucked that one home for lucky number 7. And Oaklyn are going to be allowed to get a little bit of action. Free kick awarded. I thought that was the final whistle. That's the final whistle. Your score from Lancaster Catholic High School, Alloy 7, Oaklyn United 0. Don't go anywhere. Interview's coming up in just a few minutes.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The salt air case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division I programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
So I'm here with Luke Null. And Luke, you start the game on the bench, and I don't know how you could possibly have a better entrance to this game than scoring like 3 minutes into the second half. Tell me, what was going through your mind on the bench to get yourself mentally prepared for this one, and how quickly you were able to translate it?
I mean, I was just sitting on the bench knowing, we've been running them into the ground for the first half. They're probably tired, so I'm just going to come out in the second half and use my fresh legs, try to get in behind, play off of our new striker, Seth. He's really good at getting the ball turning, playing people through, so I just thought, I'll stretch the defense off him and try to get in behind, and that's how I scored. So
all the goals were good, don't get me wrong, but the third one was making me laugh because, you had teammates to your left and right, and you just didn't look like you had any interest in playing either of them the ball. It looked like you were going to shoot that whole time. Tell me, that was a really nice finish through a lot of traffic. What was it look like from your perspective, bobbing and weaving through those defenders?
I mean, I just got the ball. I mean, I had some space, so I dribbled the guy. Their second defender cut me off, so I didn't see a way to pass to my teammates. I knew they were there, so I just used them and dribbled the defender that covered and took a shot from the top of the box. I knew the keeper probably wasn't expecting it after that much dribbling, so I just looked for the back post and had a good finish. So.
Yeah, it was a great finish. Let's talk about your view from the bench on the first half. Obviously, you guys had a bunch of goals in the first half. Looked really solid defensively too, which I want to touch on. What is working so well for you early on in this season to get such a dominant result like this?
Honestly, I think it's just the fact that we have every player on the team's good. I mean, we can score goals from everywhere. We have some really fast wingers, so we can stretch teams in behind. And then in the midfield, we have strikers that can check back and make runs through. So we're just really dynamic in the attack, and anyone can score, so it's just really hard to defend us.
Dynamic in attack, the understatement of the night. 7 goals for Alloy against Oaklyn United here on their home ground. Thank you all very much for watching this Game and Frame presentation. I'm Jake Gillespie with my man Nick on the camera. Thank you again for tuning in.